253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Now, here's your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together with the band. We don't move in any particular directions, and we don't make no collections. I want you to join together with the band.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Always got Jay Morgan in the house hanging out with me, and we had a wonderful weekend in the world of sports. If you were paying attention, it was awesome. Saturday was stacked. We're going to talk a lot of college football with Jake Crane here in a few minutes from Crane and Company. NFL on Sunday was absolutely wild. Did you see like some of the scary, stupid things? Like Miami, my good God, that offense is nasty, and Denver basically quit in that game. Mostert was running mad. Tua Tagovailoa is playing out his mind. That wide receiving core, holy moly. Denver, you are trash. Miami, you're really damn good. Like really, really good. Minnesota, man, Brandon Staley did everything to give you that football game. Like he was trying, Brandon Staley was trying to get fired on Sunday. Did you catch the Chargers and the Vikings, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know about the stupid 4th and 1 call that he had?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Holy cow. And the guy still got lucky and was victorious. My goodness, Brandon Staley. Somebody needs, I think they even said this during the broadcast. But you know, the weekends are a little fuzzy sometimes. I think they said something to the effect, or maybe I just thought it, but dude, somebody's got to talk to him about trying to throw away football games. Like, why do you try to throw away football games? How do you blow a 27-0 lead to the Jaguars in the postseason? Speaking of the Jaguars, lost another game at home this weekend. My goodness. C.J. Stroud looked like the business.
He looked real good. Really good.
Dude, little sidebar, because we were talking a lot of NFL. Me and Jay are going to get deep up in the National Football League at 12 o'clock today. We also got Hardenwood. We have Terry Davis, 11:30, to talk about the Tigers getting beat up by Missouri. But we have so many things to get into. But one little note, Ohio State had a good weekend. Beat Notre Dame, one of the craziest games I've seen. I was so ticked off when they put 1 second back on the clock and kicked that damn extra point. It made it 17-14 because that Notre Dame plus three. Waited too long to put it in. It went from 3.5 to 3. But, man, not only was, my man McCord great, but, dude, C.J. Stroud, 900 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions in his first 3 games in the National Football League. But it is time to talk with our very good buddy, Jake Crane. You know him from Crane and Company. You got David Blaine and Jake. They tear things up all the time. By the way, Jake does a great Lou Holtz impression. That was hilarious today on the show. But we're going to talk a lot of college football. You need to check them out on YouTube. Just go to Crane and Company. It is very simple. What up, Jake?
Man, what is up? Just ready for another weekend.
Yeah, this weekend we do have some nice little matchups. I mean, I'm excited. Friday night, you got Utah against Oregon State. Utah, I'm kind of curious to just kind of start right here real quick since we're looking ahead for a second. Bro, is Cam Rising going to play quarterback at Utah anymore?
Man, who knows? I mean, at this point, is anybody better at hiding who's going to play than Kyle Whittingham is?
Nope.
I think at this point, you just have to assume he's not until he does. And if he doesn't play this weekend against Oregon State, they were able to kind of hold UCLA off. But it'll be low scoring. And look, DJU's kind of still who we thought he was. But this Oregon State team's for real.
Yeah, and we got a lot of great matchups this weekend. I'm looking forward to the LSU Ole Miss game. I'm kind of curious after what we saw down in Tuscaloosa. There's a lot of people right now who would like a little more coaching and a less tweeting out of Lane Kiffin right now, I've heard. That was a $2 million coaching job this weekend, not a $9 million coaching job. I thought it was a horrible I don't know what the hell they went in there and talked about at halftime because they came out flat as could be. The offense looked like trash. One great drive, And then the rest of the time, they were just terrible. Now, got to give credit, of course, to Alabama. But that defense for me, for Ole Miss and Pete Golding, they made big plays, especially in the first half when they had the ball on the one. I felt like they did enough. That offense, what Lane's known for, was, I thought, embarrassing.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you got to give some credit to Alabama's defense. They weren't able to run the ball, and a lot of people don't realize at the end of the day, Lane Kiffin he operates a run to pass offense, and you shut down the run, he's not able to do what he wants to do in play action. The RPO game doesn't work as well. Bama had a few busts early. They had a coverage bust on the first drive, but outside of that, I thought they tackled really well, and Judkins didn't beat them. And at the end of the day, if you take away the run game from Lane Kiffin, if you take it away from Josh Heupel, if you take it away from Lincoln Riley, if you take it away from Jeff Levy, the other stuff's not going to work. But, you know, up front, we watched Ole Miss struggle with Tulane. Not that they just got absolutely overwhelmed by Bama, but Bama was the better team. And, yeah, I mean, at some point, Lane's got to stop being a stand-up comedian and go beat somebody that's worth a dang. I mean, everybody's talking about the stat today that got put out about him being 1 for 20 against or 1 for 19 against teams who have won 9 games or more. We were talking about that last week. I mean, at some point, you either put up or shut up. And Ole Miss, I don't know if they'll have a better chance to be able to play in the SEC championship game for the first time ever than this year.
Oh, man, it was very painful for Ole Miss fans. I know Saturday was because, again, the second half, the way Alabama came out there, punched them right in the face, ran the ball right down the throat, basically looked like they tested their manhood, and then the offense was just so embarrassing they couldn't get a first down to save their life. Bad struggle. Ole Miss has a tough one as LSU's coming to town. That LSU-Arkansas game, my goodness, I felt like that was a heavyweight fight. It was K.J. Jefferson smacking back after Jaden Daniels hit him in the face. Back and forth. LSU, Brian Kelly run down the clock, kick it, win by 3. That was a fascinating game. I mean, where was that K.J. Jefferson earlier this year? Because that was nasty.
Yeah, look, you know, Arkansas always plays LSU tough. You know, it's a battle for the boot, whatever you want to call it. KJ, I thought, and up to this point, he hasn't thrown the ball as well as he threw it against LSU, especially in the intermediate game. You know, he took a big jump from 2 years ago to last year and has developed a lot as a thrower. But this game, I thought he was absolutely in his bag. We know what he can do extending the play. We know what he can do running the ball. And I thought LSU's secondary, you know, the same thing happening against Jordan Travis. Once that play breaks down, they really struggle to stick to a guy, and the improv play keeps killing them. Arkansas, regardless of the penalties they got, seemed to always find a way to be able to hit the big play when they needed it. And if LSU doesn't shore that up, they're going to be in trouble. But look, some games you survive. Arkansas absolutely went into this one. I thought they played about as good as they could play offensively. Defensively, it's going to be tough to stop Jaden Daniels and this LSU offense with the way that Malik Neighbors is playing. And that was without Mason Taylor at tight end. So it was a lot more high scoring than I thought it was going to be. But you got to give credit to LSU for, you know, holding on in the end. But, man, K.J. Jefferson got back in his bag.
I had a ridiculous Saturday, Jake. I mean, I'm talking about ridiculous. The only game I lost, I stupidly let my heart lead me, and I took Ole Miss plus the 7. But one game I did push, and it broke my heart. It was the Notre Dame-Ohio State game. I got Notre Dame plus the 3. They score the touchdown, 16-14. Everybody's on the field. I feel like I've won. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. Then they put one damn second back on after they went back to make sure he scored and kicked it. And then, of course, I jacked and kissed my sister, and that's just not a lot of fun. But the football game itself was flat out, I thought, just a heavyweight fight. What does this say about both of these ball clubs? Because, I mean, I feel like Ohio State, it looked like Kyle McCord grew up right there. I didn't expect him to have that drive. It's also kind of a catch-22 on the situation. You know, like they got it done. But, man, how bad do you think DJ Brown feels right now? He had the ball in his hands. The game was going to be over. But, again, that's football. What do you think now? Is Ohio State back? And how does Notre Dame get off the mat and now have to go play Duke, who's been really damn good?
Look, it's tough because if you're Notre Dame, you know, they're not a really explosive offense. And the game went about how it needed to go for Notre Dame to win it. We knew they were going to try and keep everything in front for Ohio State. They wanted to limit their possessions by being able to hold on to the ball with that new clock rule. and they had them right where they wanted them. You know, the handful of plays that you got to make to win the game, Notre Dame just didn't make at the end. And, you know, when you look at Kyle McCord, you know he'd have loved to throw for 500 yards. We've seen Ohio State quarterbacks go absolutely bananas. We've seen them have crazy stat lines. But I was so impressed that typically new quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, they get greedy at some point. They want to hit the big play. And they weren't able to do it, but he didn't force it. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't try and do something that put his team in a bad spot because he wanted to make a hero ball play. Notre Dame would rush 3 and drop 8. They would bring pressure. He made the right decision every single time. And I think that speaks volumes to his maturation as a quarterback. But if you're Notre Dame, like you said, you don't have a lot of time to lick your wounds. And you know what? Sometimes it's good, or most of the time it's good after you're coming off a heartbreaking loss, to have a good opponent the next weekend. It tends to focus you and you know, get you back quicker than playing somebody that maybe just okay. And they better not go into Duke still thinking about the week before they're going to lose. Because Riley Leonard and Mike Elko and that group, I'd rather play them in basketball right now.
Man, Ryan Day after the game, though, I thought he was pretty interesting. Lou Holtz that day basically said that, you know, the reason, you know, TCU, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan twice beat Ohio State is because they're not physical enough. And then, you know, he got really excited after the game, kind of called out Lou Holtz. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. But what do you think the chances now? Like, how good is this Ohio State? Can Kyle McCord lead this team to the promised land, or you still like Penn State a little bit more, who absolutely beat the brakes off of Iowa?
No, I had Ohio State beat Penn State before the year. I don't think Ohio State's going to beat Michigan. And depending on what the Pac-12 does, I don't know if they're going to be able to sneak in there again. You know, get into that playoff and have a chance to do what they did against Georgia last year when they gave them an absolute run for their money. But I think Kyle McCord has shown he's the guy for the future. I think Kyle McCord has shown that he can win the game, help win the game in multiple ways. He doesn't have to go out there and you know, throw for 600 yards, like I said, and that his maturation is ahead of schedule. So I think Ohio State ends up, you know, as crazy as it sounds, probably losing one regular season game. And then not making the playoff.
Also, one other thing, man, Marcus Freeman, defensive coach from Ohio State, great game. Everything was going. It breaks your heart. But can I just bring this up? Like, why were there only 3 defensive linemen in on that 4th and 1? You had them all, you know, basically slanted down to which was, you know, the right side of Ohio State's offensive line. And you had, you know, 3 linebackers in space. I understand. I mean, a lot of people are saying that was a gutsy call. That was the only call. I mean, it was wide open. The left side was wide open.
Yeah, we only had 10 players in the field. Like, and you don't get. And so he's like, well, I didn't want to get a penalty. You don't get a penalty for running the 11th player on the field. Where you get a penalty is running the 12th guy off the field. That's where you get the penalty. So I'm a little confused. And that's coming out of a timeout, man.
Yep.
Like, out of a timeout, you make that mistake. So I thought it was unacceptable. I think Marcus would tell you that it's unacceptable.
Man, it's definitely, like you said, you got a great opponent in Duke that can maybe, you know, focus his Notre Dame team. That was a very heartbreaking loss there in South Bend. But, man, what are Duke's chances? Duke's at home. They get Notre Dame coming off an absolute gut-wrenching loss to Ohio State. How do you feel about the little Blue Devils' chances?
Can you stop the run? If you can stop the run, you got a chance in this one. That's what it's going to come down to. I think you're going to see Notre Dame take a couple more shots. You know, they're not the most explosive offense. And I think Duke will be able to put up some points. But if they can stop the run, especially early, and you let Riley Leonard get deep in his bag, it could get real weird out there in Durham.
It could get weird, man. Now, also, Saturday was weird. Started off 11 a.m. with a heavyweight fight, Florida State and Clemson. Norvell, Florida State's offense seemed to be sputtering throughout the day, but they made the plays that they needed to. Coleman got the big one. Travis finally hit, a receiver on one-on-one coverage. But now Dabo Swinney's 2-2. Is Clemson's season already basically sunk before the October?
Well, I mean, you've already got 2 losses now, and you don't have the tiebreaker anymore. That's the biggest problem. There are no divisions anymore in the ACC, so it's not like, all right, well, we'll just win our division, and then we'll have a chance with 2 losses. So Duke has to lose 2 games, and they still hold the tiebreaker over you. If Florida State somehow loses 2 games, they still hold the tiebreaker over you. And look what North Carolina's doing. So I think right now for Clemson, you're just hoping for a really good bowl game and that Dabo embraces the transfer portal.
Got to also talk about Oregon and Colorado. Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffs, Cinderella through the first 3 games. Man, they had a nightmare out in Oregon. It was Alton Stadium was crazy, but man, Bo Nix was running all over them, throwing touchdowns, tap dancing in their face. Their defensive front was absolutely engulfing Shedeur Sanders. He had no time all day. Dan Lanning was fired up. Oregon was fired up. They rolled Colorado. Now Colorado has to face USC. Real tough one in Boulder. How bad is this one going to be? About as bad? USC opens up as a 22-point favorite.
No, because I don't trust USC's defense. I think this is a lot better matchup for Colorado. I think they got a better chance to cover. Now, I don't think they could stop USC if they had 13 guys out there on defense and USC only had 11. But the thing that Oregon, the biggest compliment that I can give Oregon is that they have team balance. Oregon's good on offense, defense, and special teams. And when you look, what was the difference in this game? And we haven't talked about on Crane and Company the whole time. I mean, that's why I literally had to open the show with the monologue today. It said hate for overhype doesn't equal hate for prime. We have this bad habit of society of just getting on 2 totally opposite ends of the spectrum and not realizing 2 things can be true at once. But Oregon could rush 4 and not only pressure Shedeur, they could get him on the ground with 4. Then on the other side, they were able to – the offensive line was so much better than Colorado's defensive line, not only from a run game standpoint, but from a pass pro standpoint. It's one of those things where when you run into a team like this, like in Oregon, that is just so vastly better than you are up front, it's going to show itself. And that's what you saw on Saturday. That doesn't mean that what Colorado and them have done is super impressive. It is really impressive. But Colorado's not an elite team because they're not good enough up front. How good is USC on defense? We're about to find out. I don't know how good Washington is on defense. But Colorado has a much better chance to turn this into a track meet and hang around against USC than they did against Oregon.
Man, Utah keeps winning. USC's got Caleb Williams, but their defense you can't believe in. You look at Washington State, Cam Ward's running and throwing. He just got to make sure he doesn't fumble the football. Pac-12 is actually pretty damn scary. Michael Penix is just, he's just playing video games out there. Bo Nix at Oregon, defense, offense. It's crazy. Who's the best team in the Pac?
I'm going Oregon because I think they're the most balanced. I think USC looks like every team that Lincoln Riley's basically ever had. I hope I'm wrong because I want USC to be good. But I don't trust Washington on defense. Utah with Cam Rising coming back, my question is this. What if his biggest strength is his ability to not only scramble and throw and improvise outside the pocket, but he runs hard. One of the biggest pluses of Cam Rising is he keeps your offense on schedule because he can turn a bad play into 2nd and 6. Now coming off this ACL injury, how much is he going to be able to run effectively? And if he can't, then they're in a lot of trouble.
Tell everybody right now, man, what you guys are you doing this Saturday game day special a lot now?
Oh yeah, it's like our Saturday game day pick'em. They changed college game day so much it's fairly recognizable now. All they're doing is having Lou Holtz and Lee Corso just talk ish about people, which has its merits, I guess. But we had David Pollock as a guest picker this weekend. Got some more big time pickers coming up. We've had Jeff Foxworthy, Jeff Collins, Cole Kublick. If you like a game day show that keeps it about ball, come check us out. It's Crane and Company on YouTube, CRAINN Company, live each weekday morning, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Eastern. We have live calls and a live chat every day. It's a good time.
We got 2 games tonight in the National Football League. Eagles are a 5-point favorite, the total 44.5. You also have the Rams and the Bengals. Bengals 2.5-point favorite, total 43.5. You like any action tonight on Monday night?
Now I like the Rams, Bengals over 43.5. And then I also like the Bucks +5. I think the Eagles win, but I think they kick a walk-off field goal.
Yeah, if you look at these schedules, neither team's played anybody. Both played Minnesota.
Yeah,
the Bucks got to play the Bears, who are trash.
It's the truth.
Now, what other thing, man? What do you think about Taylor Swift being in Kansas City?
Todd. I mean, Travis, like, all right, watch what you tell her. Watch what you tell her. Because all of a sudden, in 2 weeks, when y'all break up, there's going to be a song that called Why Travie Why, and someone's going to be talking about all the stuff you told her that you don't want anybody else to know. So good luck with that, bud. She's not that hot.
Man, do me a favor, brother. You be blessed out there. Thanks for your time. We'll do it again next Monday.
Sounds good, Johnny Radio. It's always fun, buddy.
That is Jake Crane. Follow him on Twitter at @JakeCrane_. Follow at Crane & Company in the same place. Check it out on YouTube. You can watch it all the time in the morning when they go live. Their Saturday specials are great. David Pollock, by the way, only lost one game this weekend. He was on fire. Like, guest picker, on fire. Of course, that's against the spread. That's why it matters. We got to take a quick time out because we got to switch gears and talk with our good buddy Terry Davis. But don't forget, this whole first hour is brought to you by the people over at Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. They have the largest showroom around, period. I mean, it is massive. ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes, golf carts, scooters, like little scooters. Man, then they got the big ones, man, like crazy big scooters. They got the helmets. They also have all the parts. If you need something fixed on your, they have the largest parts you've ever seen. I mean, if it's a part, they have it. Again, Scooters Plus, parts, repairs, sales, and service, largest showroom around. They're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Go online to scootersplus.us. That's scootersplus.us. Check out their inventory again. They are parts, repairs, sales, and service. And don't forget, they also have financing available. Terry Davis talking Tigers on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Don't miss any of the primetime action this season with Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner on site calling the game, and I'll be on hand from the studio for the pregame and to wrap up the weekend's action. Join us on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone, for Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Ugh, I don't have time for a cold.
Honey.
Honey?
You need DayQuil Severe Honey flavor.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honey-licious taste. Because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honey-licious. Power through your day, medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
It's time to go where the season takes you, and it's the season for savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go for miles more with 43 MPG Highway in your 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. $17,815 or $229 a month. 2024 Eclipse Cross eludes sleek and sporty style at $29,695 or $399 a month. Discover the new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV with 3rd row and 7-passenger seating. Now $29,885 or $449 a month. And they're all equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. We're ready to put you in a new ride today at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months. Mirage RH 00782 MSRP 18315. Eclipse RZ 001693 MSRP 30445. Outlander RZ 005762 MSRP 31385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and licensee. Dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rap.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's hanging out with me, and you know we got Terry Davis. It's 11:30 on a beautiful Monday after a big weekend in college football. But Terry Davis is a Steelers fan, man. Terry, aren't you a Steelers fan?
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. You're a Steelers fan, right?
You know it.
Now, bro, like how lucky were y'all last night to play a stupid head coach like Josh McDaniels, like on 4th down and 4 from the 8-yard line, decides to kick a field goal when they're down 8 and then kick y'all the football. Like, man, you got lucky to hold on to that one. That's the dumbest coach in the world.
What about that bad penalty that Mika got called for roughing the passes or hitting the quarterback?
Oh, yeah, that was a horrible, horrible call, by the way.
So it balances out.
You know what, man? You always have such a positive outlook. I just can't wait to see how you're going to spend this one. So what'd you think about the Tigers in St. Louis? There was a spot where things were exciting and you were feeling kind of good, and then it just all went south.
You know, it's almost like Memphis don't know how to take advantage of the opportunities presented to them. They just shot themselves in the feet on multiple occasions. And also, I think they got some questionable calls that kind of turned it all over, especially in the first half when they just kept giving Missouri multiple opportunities to try to score. But, you know, only thing, you know, I was just worried about them competing for a championship. You know, it'd been nice to beat Missouri, but it's going to be better to beat Tulane in a couple of weeks.
Now, yes, that will be extremely, extremely good. But what positive takeaways did you take away from that Missouri football game?
They went up against a top 25 team, and they didn't embarrass themselves. And they proved that they was alone in one of the best schools outside the Power 5 Conference.
All right, man. Memphis 27, Missouri Tigers.
What's your take? What do you think about it?
You know, it was kind of. I feel like that sometimes that you mentioned about how they don't take advantage of opportunity. I just feel like for some reason when they start getting a little bit of success, it always seems like somehow they just come out there and then make stupid mistakes or shoot themselves in the foot. Like it's just like, I don't know, man.
With down penalties and bad.
Yeah, man. Like that first quarter, man, there was a moment that I was thinking to myself, you know, outside of that stupid huge play with Missouri, I was like, all right, right now Tigers look like they looked so good in that first quarter.
Exactly. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, this team is still developing the chemistry because a lot of the playmakers that's on this team, they weren't here last year. And, last year they told me, this team can't run the ball, but now we found someone who can run the ball.
They got a couple of dudes that can run the ball, but the Tigers running against that Missouri defense was going to be difficult. So then again, threw 47 passes this weekend.
Yeah.
He was airing it out. He had 3 touchdown passes, just had those 2 costly interceptions. I mean, it was a good football team. Missouri, though, looked like they just had the better athletes.
Exactly. They got deeper talent because at the end of the day, they are an SEC school with 5-star, 4 5-star, the more depth in Memphis. And Memphis competed against them, and that's got to be encouraging when you go into American play, conference play.
Yeah, and by the way, Brady Cook, he played a damn good football game. I didn't even know he was going to play, so that he was clean. He had a clean pocket the whole game.
Yeah. The bigger horses up front, man, it makes a big difference.
And that's basically where you have to put this game because, again, man, you get the hands in Rock Taylor. I mean, Rock Taylor he's a dude. He can play wide receiver anywhere. He's doing his thing.
And then Memphis did not get embarrassed. Seriously,
No.
They did not get embarrassed.
They didn't get embarrassed at all. You're right. I guess, where my disappointment is I really felt, I don't know why. I mean, they played great. They played a good football game. I just felt like after that first quarter, they had that momentum and they didn't capitalize and made some really bad.
Right.
That second quarter was just terrible.
Yeah, it was. But it is what it is, and they moving on to Boise.
Yeah, they are. By the way, what do you think about this Boise football team? And interesting game.
I've seen them play. One thing about Boise, you have to be disciplined in what you do. If you don't, they're going to exploit your weaknesses on offense and defense, and they will score points. If you do what you need to do, if you play like you played in the first half against Missouri, you should come out with a double-digit win and then go back into conference play against Tulane and have a light October and hopefully at the end of November be competing for a conference championship, which is what everybody wants in Memphis.
It's going to be a heck of a game. A lot of people, when they look at the record for the Broncos, are going to see 2-2, but they play that Washington team that's offense is absolutely ridiculous. Michael Penix Jr. is doing nasty things to people. He's just carving people up. Those wide receivers, both NFL talents. Michael Penix is just unbelievable. Washington dropped 56 on them. Then they lost a close game to Central Florida. It was 18-16. That was a tight one. And then, of course, they just played North Dakota State, San Diego State. They beat 34-31. So this is going to be a test for both of these football teams. This should be a really tight game. It's 3:30 on ESPN2. Man, I don't even know what the line is in this one, thinking about it. I'm kind of curious. What do you think it is?
I think it's Memphis minus 3.5. Memphis will be favored in this game. So they're at home. And Vegas, they don't go by emotions. They go by numbers.
Damn,
Memphis
you landed it. Memphis minus 3.5, total 60.
Hey, I don't even work in Vegas. And I think Memphis should win this game. They do what they need to do. Steph should throw for 350 yards. They should run for a couple hundred yards. And Memphis should get out of this game. Just get out of this game healthy. Then, head on to conference play and do what you need to do.
I will say, though, the one thing that you definitely take away is that team looked a lot different. That Tiger team didn't look like the team that played Navy. You got a 28-24 win. That was a scary game. I felt, better actually after a decent loss to Missouri than I did after that Navy game because I was scared that Missouri game could have gotten ugly.
But with Navy, because Navy don't have a lot of film on them and they've changed the way they do things, Memphis really didn't know what to prepare for. They went into the game preparing for their triple option, and then Navy threw the ball more in this last game than they did in the last 5 years combined. So they just really just threw Memphis off with their game plan, and they just caught them off guard. So, you just got to – I'd rather have a bad win than a good loss.
I got you. I don't blame you at all. Win's a win, it's a win. Do need to know something, man. What you got going on? Any word over there, with the basketball team?
Hopefully we can hear something from DeAndre president next 2 weeks. And hopefully the administration, you'll get some balls and say, okay, Mikey, you can play because it's really up in their court. it's not an illegal system. It's all about the, perceived perception that the administration don't want to get, from letting their guy play. So if they make a decision, because both of them enrolled in school, so it's just a matter of them getting the green light, one from the administration and one from, the NCAA. So it's going to be fun. It's crazy that we got 1 week left this month, and in 2 weeks we're going to be talking about, Tiger Madness and Grizzlies tip-off, within 2 weeks, which is crazy.
It is crazy. It's that great time of the year. Not only do we have that, we got baseball. Like October's rolling up. We rolling up on the end of the season. By the way, did you see Ronald Acuna got his 40th home run the other day?
Man, that dude, he's having a special year. And I hope, I think he wrapped up the MVP.
Man,
with
dude.
Shohei being out.
He's got 68 stolen bases. He's got 40 home runs. He's still got this week to get just 2 more bags, and it'll be 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases. Never been done before. Hell, nobody's ever done 40, 60. So, yeah, Acuna's having a great year. What about your Reds, man?
Man, you know what, man? You know what they said? I'm just happy to be in a conversation with less than 6 games left, and our elimination number is still 4. This time last year we was over 100 losses, so
that's a
I'm
positive
just happy
look.
to be in a conversation.
What'd you think about, man, like Joey Votto's about to, did he have his last home game, or is it coming up?
It's coming up, but I don't think he's going. I don't know if he's going to retire or not. But
oh man,
because
this feels like a
him.
goodbye. This feels like a farewell tour, bro.
But you never know, man.
Yeah, you never know.
Because Joey is, he's still, they still have a really, 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 really young locker room, and they need that veteran presence in there. Even though he was productive when he was in the lineup too, and if he's DHing or helping those guys do well, because Cincinnati's not going to pay a lot of money for those guys, so why have one more the veteran presence there for 1 more year?
What are you thinking about De La right now?
Man, he just made my summer exciting, man. You never know what was going to come up, and hopefully, he doesn't do what's the guy from the Dodgers that went crazy. There was a center fielder that lost his mind that everyone thought was going to be great.
Yasiel Puig?
Yeah. Puig. I don't want him to Puig it. Be great 1 year, then lose his mind and do everything else that Puig did the following year.
Man, I don't blame you. He's an immense talent. Came out like a rocket and just kind of fallen off here as of late, if you could say.
All right, I got a question for you. How bad was your losses? Because I don't gamble, but how was your wins and losses this weekend?
Oh, I had a great Saturday. I lost Notre Dame, Jack. I lost I lost Ole Miss +7 against Alabama, and then I jacked when they put 1 second back on the clock. The damn Notre Dame Ohio State game was at Notre Dame +3. They scored, and there was 0 seconds left on the clock. They just were checking to see if the ball crossed the plane in the goal line because they had to check. And then they're like, oh, hold up. It looks like there's still 1 second left on the clock. They put a second left on the clock, made them kick the extra point, then kick it off, and damn it, I jacked. Yeah, that was
bad
a tough
way to lose.
I mean, it wasn't a loss. It was a jack, but it's still like, you thought it was in the bag. Like, it was like, dude, if they just don't score on this first, play from the goal line, and they threw the ball out, and I was like, only 3 seconds left. They ran it in. I'm like, game's over. Yes, I covered. And then they kicked it 20 minutes later. Made me almost cry. How about hey, man, it is what it is. By the way, I know you like everything. Like, you're into everything. So, right now, what happened to the Dallas Cowboys over this weekend? I know you don't like them. They got beaten.
No, I don't dislike them. I'm just not a fan of them. But my thing is, they beat 2 bad New York teams, and everybody thought they were in it well. That's how come you never make a real solid, sound decision after 4 or 5 games. That's when you pretty much know what a team is heading or what they're not doing. And, so people start making those off the wall statements. That based on 2 games they would want the Super Bowl, but they just played 2 bad teams. They still hadn't played an elite quarterback yet.
No, they really haven't, man. They haven't. But, man, the Titans, I can say one thing. After a few games, they're terrible.
I don't need another game for the Titans. They need to change quarterback, serious.
Man, they are terrible.
They're hard to watch, man.
The Browns just beat the hell out of the Titans this weekend. Like, I don't even know what that was. That was embarrassing. I'm glad, though, because I had the Browns -3.5. I didn't have to sweat it.
Man, and, last week they talking about, Deshaun, he needs to go reevaluate.
He did have, by the way, he had a great game. I will say, did you see where he threw the ball backwards?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? That was the craziest play I've ever seen. I was like, what was he thinking, man? Dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I sat down and watched a lot of football this weekend, man. It was fun just sitting around watching, especially when I had no skin in the game. It was just fun just sit down and watch all day Saturday. Colorado got whacked. USC, they were tight for a while, then they blew it open. So it was some really good college football on this weekend. And the pro football was just, that tracked me down in Miami, man. Oh, my God.
That was crazy.
I'm glad that wasn't my team.
Man, me too. By the way, man, what happened to the Ravens this weekend? Damn, man.
They got screwed, man.
That was a freaking hold across the middle. That was a horrible no call against the Colts, man. That was terrible.
Exactly. And it wasn't just that call, because I watched,
they had
when I sit down, I do Red Zone, because Red Zone, they show it all. Man, they had 3 bad calls against them in the last minute, man. It's like they were trying to get Indianapolis to win.
Yeah, and they did.
But I'm not mad at them because we're in first place because of that, so I'm cool with that.
I didn't even think about it, man. After y'all look so damn bad, the 49ers beat the brakes off of y'all, and now look at the Steelers.
If you lose by 100 or you lose by 1, it's still a loss.
I guess you rooting against Cincinnati tonight?
There's no need to root against them because they're not good. I don't think Burrow's healthy, and unless they sit that dude down, that season's over with because they have no backup quarterback. Because they let Jacoby go last year. They didn't they don't have a good solid backup plan. So I don't think they win tonight, even with Burrow in the lineup. Because I don't think it's 100%.
Man, do me a favor, tell everybody where you're at and what you're working on.
Getting ready for basketball previews. Prep football still going on. Follow me at Terry D515 and just keep abreast.
Man, be blessed and always listen to him right here. Terry, take care of yourself, man.
All right, my brother. Have a good one.
You too. That's Terry Davis. Follow him at Terry D515 and always listen to him right here. Now, I got to tell you something, man. Terry Davis, I see him out. He's a man amongst towns. He's always looking fly, and you know why? Because he goes to Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. You got everything, and I mean everything. They have all the fall fashions. They're ready for you. Head on down there right now. It's ridiculous because they have the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Western boots, work boots, dress boots. They have Hey Dude shoes. They have all the hats you need. Plus, they got your jeans, Ariat, Wrangler, Miss Me, Girly Girl. Yes, they got a ladies' boutique, a children's department, a men's section, Frontier Western Store. And if you can't make it down there, you can always just go online to frontierwesternstore.com. They ship your order out within 24 hours, and every order of $75 or more is shipped absolutely free. Frontier Western Store, frontierwesternstore.com. It's time to get deep in some NFL and Hardwood. Don't forget at 1230 Sports 56 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
7.
12. What are we playing?
Central Barbecue has 7 different kinds of sandwiches.
Okay, does that seem like a lot?
Are you kidding? 7 may be the most perfect amount of sandwiches. See, they get the pulled pork. You can get chopped on request. Then trim sliced beef brisket sandwich. There's 2 right there.
I'm not sure exactly.
Look, you've also got the pulled chicken, the smoked turkey, the marinated portobello mushroom sandwich.
That seems like plenty.
You would think, but then you also got the smoked sausage and the barbecue bologna sandwich.
You're right. 7 may be the perfect amount of sandwiches.
The people at Central Barbecue are genius.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Jeep Adventure Days and Ram Power Days are going strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And if you're ready to save big bucks, we Gossett! Show off your style in 2023 Fiat 500X Pop 4-door, Gossett priced at $28,990 or $354 a month with 0% APR. Or take your pick with 2023 Jeep Renegade or 2023 Dodge Charger, now just $422 a month. And if you're looking for big savings on your 2023 Ram 1500, get to Gossett for just $587 a month. And if we don't have it, Gossett can order it today. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike, or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 3500 Elmas financed through Chrysler. Pop PP 988,763, MSRP 31,355. Renegade PPP 45,607, MSRP 30,500. Charger PH 508,657, MSRP 35,930. Ram PN 693, 3965, MSRP 48,330. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/30/2023 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan's hanging out with me. Big thanks to Terry Davis and, of course, Jake Crane, who joined us in the first segment. We talked tons of college football. We talked about the Tigers football teams and basketball hoops, all that good stuff. Memphis, Maine. But right now we're going to switch gears. We got to talk a little NFL action. I just thought, yesterday was wild. Like, there's some really stupid things that happened yesterday in the National Football League. There's also some crazy, awesome things, and one of them has to do with the Miami Dolphins. I know Jay Morgan is a Dolphins fan. I'm becoming quickly into a fan and a Dolphins fan, and I love Mike McDaniels. I've been talking about him for a couple weeks. Guess what? It's Monday morning. I'm going to talk about Mike McDaniels again, and yesterday what he said after the game, why they didn't break the record for 73 points, which was the NFL record. They had an opportunity to kick a field goal on 4th down. It was a little chip shot. He decided to kneel, give the ball back to the other team. He explained why he took the high road. But, man, right now I need to tell you why you need to, if you're on the highway or on the road and you're hungry, head on over to Central Barbecue because smoke is their sauce. The best barbecue nachos, the chicken wings, their appetizers, man, are so amazing. They got sausage cheese plate. They have the best pulled pork. Their barbecue sauce is perfect. Their turnip greens, their mac and cheese, their pulled chicken. You don't want any pig? Guess what? They got that pulled chicken. They also got smoked turkey. Oh, man, Central Barbecue. The cool thing is they got locations everywhere. They got the original at Central. Of course, don't forget downtown. They got you over at Summer on 4375 Summer Avenue. The new one on Poplar. And now they have one down in South Haven at 6547 Getwell Road. Central Barbecue, where smoke is their sauce. Now, Mike McDaniels was asked, the Dolphins destroyed Denver, embarrassed Sean Payton, embarrassed the Broncos. It was ridiculous. The record for the NFL scoring record was 73 in 1940. Mike McDaniels was aware of this. They were asked why he didn't kick the field goal and make NFL history. He said, I'm very okay with the decision. And I think the team, notably the leaders of the team, supported it. The captain supported it. It's not the way you want to get the record. I would hope that if the shoe was on the other foot, the opponent would feel the same way. That's called karma. I'm trying to keep good karma with the Miami Dolphins. Bro, you beat them 70-20. Like, you did score 70 points. What's another 3 points going to do?
Yeah, but that's the fine line, though, isn't it? That's the fine line that they would be crossing over if they were to do that. There's absolutely
I feel like you already stepped all over Denver's face and their heart and their pride and their manhood and every single thing you could step on at that point.
Yeah, but not intentionally.
Might as well let everybody in the rest of the NFL know that you made history stepping on their face.
But not intentionally. You were just playing football when you scored all those other points.
It's what you do in the fourth quarter when there's time left on. You might as well get 3 other points. You don't want that crazy comeback. No, I agree. I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying. But again, I guess for Mike McDaniels, it's another reason I like him. I mean, he definitely thinks outside the box. He's an offensive genius. I mean, right now the guy's got Tua playing everything, but it's just funny him talking about. He's like, man, 70-20, didn't want to make history because I'm trying to keep the good karma all over the Dolphins, and I'm like, bro, it's 70-20.
Well, you don't want to make an enemy out of Sean Payton either. I mean, even though that guy's getting embarrassed the first 3 weeks of the year, at some point he's not going to.
He's doing so bad with this Denver team. They're making this man miss Nathaniel Hackett.
Who miss Nathaniel Hackett?
Denver Broncos fans.
I don't think they are, John.
I don't think they're actually missing him, but they ain't right now elated to have Sean Payton. That was the most embarrassing performance of the year by far.
Yeah, or the Dolphins are a wagon. I mean, this game next week, the Bills and Dolphins, is going to be incredible. The Bills are we're throwing out week one. Week one to the Bills literally doesn't matter. This team is also a wagon. I think that maybe the two best teams. I mean, that's certainly the best 1-2 punch of any division in football is Bills Dolphins.
Yeah, right now the Bills look like they're just like they're clicking on all cylinders.
So
right now,
that game's going to be incredible. I mean, it really is. Those are the two most exciting teams playing football right now, I think. I mean, it's going to be the Cowboys are good too, even after a loss last week, but nonetheless.
I don't know, man. Cowboys, that was embarrassing what happened.
But we said it, John, that Cardinals defense is good.
Yes, they are. They play their little hearts out. They do. But again, Dallas's defense, that was embarrassing, and let's be real, Dak looked terrible. That offense was terrible. Mike McCarthy looked dumb on the sidelines, like, I don't know what to do. Can't get this team going.
Brian says 3-0 linemen out.
Man, I don't need no excuses, Dallas Cowboy fan. You got that star on your helmet.
Brian, you got your star on your helmet?
Earned, not given.
Earned, not given. That's Brad Calipari.
Hey, man, they beat 2 bad New York teams. The Jets are trash. The Giants are terrible. Man, I don't know, man. They lost to Arizona. We got a lot of NFL, so I'm excited about that, Jay, because there are so many storylines, and we're covering them on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Hey everybody, fall is happening here in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy. Not only can you get the new 2023 Silverado this week, you can get financing as low as 0 interest for 3 months with no payments. And your good credit deserves this. So come drive a Silverado or one of these new Traverses. See Kevin or Jeff if you want to do a custom order. And if you're a first responder, educator, military, recent college grad, healthcare professional, September is your month for bonus cash and more here at All-Star Chevy. Just see Kevin or Jeff, and they asked me to thank all of you who are bringing your cars and your trucks here to sell. All-Star is still paying crazy good money, and you can get a check today, even if you still owe money on it. And All-Star's certified and pre-owned selection is loaded. I see lots of Silverados, Ram trucks, here's a Denali, even a Mercedes. They're all spot on. And if you need service or maintenance, call Sean or Jeff in the All-Star service department. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Bartlett, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
A cold shower is no way to start your day. Purchase a new water heater from the pros at Conway Services, and you may be eligible for up to $2,000 in federal tax credits. Call 384-3511 to schedule your appointment. Visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19688.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
We interrupt this broadcast for special news and information concerning family leisure.
The world's biggest spa sale is back and bigger than ever at Family Leisure. How is that possible? Well, let me tell you. You start off with 50 different spa models to choose from 5 different manufacturers. Then you throw in up to 30% off in-stock spas and swim spas. But is that all? Oh, no. You get free upgrades on all in-stock spas, plus 24 months, same as cash. Wow! This is the kind of sale that you just can't have every day. But it's happening right now at Family Leisure, the world's biggest spa sale. Soak in the savings right now at Family Leisure, Witten Road and I-40. You know the place where family and fun come together.
Please remain calm and walk. Don't run to Family Leisure. And now back to your regular programming.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Ready for a new ride? We got it covered at Gossett Kia on the Pike. 41 MPG Highway, we got it with 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 to its signing. Get some EV action in 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV. 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 to its signing. Plus, check out 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 to its signing. And Gossett will include a free charger with your EV purchase, all 36-month leases, plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36 months, 650 acquisition fee, Forte LSX, PE 678,605, MSRP 21,610, Nero P507,859, MSRP 41,090, EV6 P56,109,64, MSRP 49,687, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See deal for complete details, offer valid through 10/2/2023 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jade Morgan's hanging out with me. We had a little college football discussion on the first segment with Jake Crane. We talked Tigers and Grizzlies and Bears and oh my with Terry Davis. And now it's time to talk about the National Football League. I'm sure if you look at, just I know it's early and everything, but I know a lot of people out there definitely didn't have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like 2-0, only catching 5 points at home against the Eagles early in the season. Definitely have to say nobody thought the Colts were going to be first place in the AFC South, yet here we are. What about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns? All 2-1, huge question marks. Steelers, whose offensive line is absolutely terrible, but of course they got T.J. Watt, who's a mad sack machine. Tearing things up. Kenny Pickett looked a lot better. Pickens looked good catching footballs, but they did play the Raiders. The NFL is absolutely whack, and we got a lot of NFL that we got to talk about today. Crazy storylines, some really teams that just some bad things happen. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just bad. It's weird how bad they are right now. The Texans.
Maybe the Texans are better than we thought, John.
I mean, I have to say the Texans definitely are better than we thought for sure. They are 1-2, but their point differential in the season is only -7. C.J. Stroud in the first 3 games has not thrown an interception. Did you know that?
Wow, really?
He's got 900 yards through his first 3 games. Okay, just a little over 900 yards. He has 4 touchdowns, not a million, 4 touchdowns, but he has 0 interceptions. This is a Texans team that opened up the season on the road in Baltimore. Then they played the Colts, who the Colts are a lot better than a lot of people think. Then they went down to Jacksonville, beat Jacksonville 37-17. And the crazy thing is, did you hear the stat about how long it's been since Jacksonville has beaten the Texans?
How long has it been?
I believe they just now got to, I think 14 games over the weekend. Is that what it was?
Wow.
14 straight games. I think the Texans have beaten the Jags. You might want to check that, Dacus, if you're bored over there, because my memory is a little bit off, and it might be. I think I'm pretty damn close to it. But the Texans own the Jags, and the Jags don't look now, but they've sitting there and lost 2 games at their own house. Like, they are 0-2 at home. Doug Peterson's team that last year made that crazy comeback against the Chargers, won a playoff game. They got weapons. This team's supposed to even be better. They got Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk's a real dude. I know they have trouble with the offensive line right now, but how is Jackson getting owned by the Texans? Now, again, C.J. Stroud looks to be the real deal. He has the best through 3 games, his first 3 games of his career, not including this dude named Brock Purdy, but a first-round pick, I guess is the way I'm kind of carving this up. Like the Peyton Mannings of the world, the Andrew Lucks, the guys who were taken, really early in the draft. His first 3 games are the best. And this is a Texans team that's been terrible for a long time. C.J. Stroud gets a lot of credit, but I think the most of the credit has to go to DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans, who looks like he can still play, really coached this team up, and he's got them playing respectable football.
I honestly, at the same time, John, I think this game was a lot closer than we give it credit for as well, because the Jaguars had a missed field goal, a blocked field goal, and a fumble in the first half that caused them to be down 17-0 at halftime.
17-0
Because the second half was way more competitive than that. So even though the score looks bad, I think the game was closer. And I think if the game had been like, let's say
the Texans still did though,
right?
And you're right, they still outscored them 20-17 in that second half
for sure.
It was definitely a lot closer, but it never for me ever gave me a pause that the Texans were going to lose that football game.
Not at all. But if this game had ended up, let's say the final score was 20-17, or we'll give the Texans 37. Let's say it was 37 to, 33 or something like that. I think we'd be coming in here today being like, we wouldn't be so much focused on the Jags being negative. It would be like, man, the Texans are a lot better than we thought that, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's necessarily sounding the alarm for the Jags, but I think we have to give credit to the Texans.
I'll just say C.J. Stroud outplayed Trevor Lawrence.
You may have it. You really might
tell
have.
me if you had that on your, like you had that at the beginning of the year, like, oh yeah, man. I feel like in week 3, the Texans just because they own, for some reason, they own the Jags for some reason. I don't understand it. Again, I've said it. They've won and they beat Jacksonville all the time. But C.J. Stroud, 280 yards, 20 for 30, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, didn't make any mistakes. And this wasn't like a Houston team that I thought was even effective at running the football. It was really on his shoulders and on the shoulders of his defense and special teams. I mean, the Texans just played better football on all 3 levels.
How would you like to be trotting out Justin Fields if you're the Bears and watching C.J. Stroud go down there and play in Houston? I mean, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Look how mature C.J. Stroud looks in the pocket. Bryant just showed me a video, too, of the Texans tight end saying the best thing that we could have done was win that game at the end of last season. That way we didn't have to take Bryce Young and we got C.J. Stroud. It was the best thing that could have possibly happened to us. And I think he might be right.
Bryce Young didn't even play this weekend, by the way.
So I think he might be right. I mean, C.J. Stroud it looks mature. He knows how to play the position. And if you're watching the Bears play football and you're seeing how bad everyone's talking about Justin Fields, I love that we're talking about Justin Fields, too. That guy's a bum. So I love that we do that. But, I mean, it just shows there's a certain between-the-ears component to playing quarterback in the National Football League that Justin Fields just doesn't have. And C.J. Stroud had it the minute he stepped into the National Football League.
I'm going to say something to you, though. And again, I can't sit there and really look at the Justin Fields play and argue with anything that you say, except for I do say that now that the Texans have a real coach in DeMeco Ryans,
for sure,
who came from the San Francisco 49ers.
He was fired up too, man.
Coach. This guy is spitting fire. He is out there coaching and teaching and building his guys up. They are putting in that work down at Houston. And I look at the situation that C.J. Stroud's in, that the way that he's brought him along in the first 3 games compared to how bad things have been with Chicago. The regime that brought him in was doomed. The coaching staff he's now on, I mean, the offense is it's just he's learning stuff again, I understand paralysis by analysis. How many offenses do you have to learn? How many different coaches do you have to have? The Bears never – they're like the Browns now of developing quarterbacks. They can't get it done. The Browns had to go out there and pay an astronomical amount for Deshaun Watson, who hadn't looked good at all until this weekend. But again, he only looked good because he was playing the Titans, and now the Titans' defense is good, but that Titans' offense is terrible. You're on the
offensive
field,
line is terrible.
The defense, when you're at defense, you can't be on the field the whole damn game.
Exactly.
And the Titans didn't stand a chance because their offense was so poor and sad and pathetic.
I think that offensive line I think the Titans' offensive line is the worst in football, and especially after watching the Browns play the first 2 weeks, I think my best bet of the weekend going into it. I said that.
You said it. You said we said it on Friday.
Yeah.
No, we talked about it on Friday.
And so, and the reason why was because that Titans' offensive line has looked pathetic, and you're looking at how good the Browns' defense has looked, and especially how good that defensive front looked. Who in the world is going to block Myles Garrett on the Titans' offensive line? Nobody. And the answer was nobody when you watched the game.
Did he have 3.5 sacks this weekend?
And he could have had more, John. The fact that Ryan Tannehill, by the grace of God, was getting the ball out, at least to just throw it away or throw it into the ground, where he didn't get murdered almost by the giant humans running at him. God bless him. I mean, everyone's going to criticize Tannehill, and that's fine. They don't need to re-sign Tannehill, so it's really not the worst thing in the world.
I mean, the sad thing is what do they do behind him? Because they have the 2 worst backup quarterbacks in the National Football League, because Tannehill would not be starting if he was the quarterback on any other NFL roster almost, because one thing, let me tell you something. Hell, Joshua Dobbs is better than all day, every single day, than my man Will Levis.
I agree.
Or Malik Willis.
I agree.
These two, the two backup quarterbacks on the Titans team are terrible.
It's terrible. And
the quarterback room for the Tennessee Titans is terrible.
Meanwhile, even though this is a rookie in Indianapolis, they've got Anthony Richardson, but their backup was Gardner Minshew, who is one of the most formidable backups in the league. I mean, no doubt about that.
The party's still going, man.
I mean,
227 yards. Colts winning overtime over the Ravens. Gardy party, don't play, yo.
So if we're making a list, John, of who the Titans should look to sign for a discount at
Zach
quarterback.
Moss, did you pay any attention? Man, my boy Jonathan Taylor's argument ain't looking good. Zach Moss was nasty yesterday.
He was. They ran the ball all over him. They did not miss Jonathan Taylor. And I was thinking about this when I was watching the Dolphins game, too, is that all the Dolphins were like, you got to get Jonathan Taylor. They got to get Jonathan Taylor. They need a running back. 800 yards. I mean, 1,000 yards on the ground yesterday. 8 touchdowns. I mean, good gracious.
It was insanity.
But what I was going to say about the Titans is the reason why I brought up Gardner Minshew is if we're making a list of guys that the Titans should be able to get on a discount when Tannehill goes down, Gardner Minshew next season is one. I'm going to keep saying Davis Mills till the cows come home.
Andy Dalton threw for 3. Like, what did he? How much? I'm just saying.
But he was good.
I'm just saying compared to what right now they have it back up. I'm not saying.
No kidding.
I mean, actually, Andy Dalton would be like grabbing Ryan Tannehill's twin right now.
And when I'm talking to other Titans fans,
actually, I don't know, man. Dalton might be better.
When I talk to other Titans fans, people are like, "You got to give either Willis or Levis a shot. I mean, otherwise, just a wasted draft pick." Do not compound mistakes. Like, it was a terrible decision to draft him. You recognize that almost immediately when they took the field. Do not be like, "Well, we got to give him a shot because we drafted him." No, cut the bait now. Do not waste another season next year trying to get these guys to play quarterback. John, we all see it. They stink. And Levis, we saw, stunk in college, too. So, I don't understand why we put Levis out there. We've seen Malik Willis stink in the NFL. The guy, talk about between the ears, he has no idea what's going on. I just
putting
think
mayonnaise in your coffee and being able to throw the ball 70 yards on on a rope.
No, that's what you're looking for, right?
Is what some reason gets you drafted. Because remember, Will Levis had to leave Penn State because of Sean freaking Clifford. You know, and then he goes to Kentucky, and then he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I don't get it, John.
And it's because he kept, you know what it was? His Instagram page. He's always modeling his muscles. Bro, I don't need my quarterback to look like Hulk Hogan. Have you seen Tom Brady without a shirt on?
You know what the other...
he's long, lean, and athletic. I'm not saying Tom Brady
he used to have a little tummy. He used to have a little tummy.
What I'm saying is Tom Brady, you ain't mistaken for the Incredible Hulk.
No,
Will Levis... he looks more Tim Tebow than Tom Brady. Tim Tebow's also was too yoked to be playing quarterback.
No kidding. And he still lifts. He posted a video of whatever school SEC Nation's at that week lifting with his wife in the college weight room. It's crazy.
Miss Universe?
Yeah, but
She's gorgeous.
Last week I saw him.
Tim Tebow's my hero.
John, last week he squatted 4 plates on both sides.
No,
this is a man who's not playing professional athletics anymore, squatting 4 plates.
Do you know why? Because, man, this guy waited until literally Miss Universe. He was like 33, 34 years old. That built up over the years. That's why he's got crazy strong muscles, I'm guessing.
What's that, 405? Yeah, that's 405. He put it up 5 times. 5 times squatted 405. What a lunatic.
Hey.
But going back to Will Levis, John, you know the other thing I hear when Titans fans say this is why you drafted him. Look at Josh Allen. He stunk at Wyoming. So you're going to take every Tom, Dick, and Harry that looks big and strong like that just because Josh Allen worked out? There's probably a lot more that don't play the position like Josh Allen. I mean, he's one of one. How many other examples do you have of a guy that was so terrible every time we saw him play and then turned out to be a great NFL quarterback? Doesn't exist, John.
Josh Allen was terrible at Wyoming, and when he was drafted, I said, what in the hell did they get themselves? And he completely went in there and remade his throwing motion and became amazing. And it worked out from the Buffalo Bills, swimmingly.
As though that's a reason to draft Will Levis. Because like you just said, you were skeptical because it doesn't work ever.
No.
That's the one time. The one time. I'm sorry to bring this up, Memphis fans. Paxton Lynch, drafted for the same reason. That worked out? Where's he playing? He can't even play in the spring leagues. So, it doesn't work. It worked once. I don't understand the reason to draft Will Levis.
I'm with you right
now. We went on a Titans segue there. We need to get back to the general NFL.
I want to hear. No, I got something I want to bring up to you. I'm going to ask you a question because I was thinking about the NFL yesterday, and all I kept thinking about was the player haters ball. I was like, hate. Like right now, Denver, and I'm thinking about the fans. Like if you are the Denver Broncos, Are you just hating your whole organization? What the hell is going on? That defense got carved up. Sean Payton ain't working out. 0-3 to start the season. Stupidity. And it looks like after 3 weeks, you had a football team, a pro football team, players who get paid quit on you in that second half.
Very much so. When it was 14-7, John, I thought both teams were going to go on a scoring rampage because the Dolphins' defense isn't the greatest defense in the world, but the Broncos could not keep up with the 70 points that the Dolphins scored.
I mean, right? You can't.
He threw there was
dude, Mostert ran all over their face.
Oh yeah, and so did Kane, Devon Kane.
Dude, man, Dolphins Tua was, by the way, just carving them to pieces.
Yeah, he incomplete two passes the whole day, 3 passes, 23 of 26.
But let me just tell you something. The wide receivers were running wide the bleep open. Like, I was like, damn. Like, this is terrible. Now, if you're the fans, like Denver Broncos, they hate their team, right? Like, you got to hate their team.
I don't see how you couldn't.
Now, do you hate more, if you're Denver Bronco fans, do you hate your team more today, or the Dallas Cowboys fans who were so high up on the hog and now who have stumbled down the mountain of reality that you're still the same old damn Dallas Cowboys? My goodness, once you have a little bit of success, you beat 2 crummy New York football teams, the Giants and the Jets, who don't have Aaron Rodgers and have the worst quarterback in the football world in Zach Wilson. By the way, Tannehill, Zach Wilson, who's worse? I would say Zach Wilson by a mile. That's how bad this man is. And yes, the Cowboys have beat 2 crummy football teams.
Did you just say, me and Bryant were having a side conversation about the Cowboys. Did you just say you'd rather have Zach Wilson than Dak?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard that. I was like, wait a second.
No, I said you beat a team led by Zach Wilson, a terrible quarterback. You beat the New York football Giants.
With no secondary.
So did the San Francisco 49ers. And then you go out to the desert, and your offense was pathetic, and it could only get 1 touchdown. You're in the red zone all damn day. Y'all couldn't score. Dak Prescott, I didn't think looked good at all. Didn't make good decisions. That offense was terrible. Mike McCarthy's big old dumb head on the sideline, like, I can't call anything that's going to work. I'm big and dumb, Mike McCarthy.
That's a quote, it sounds like.
That was him talking to himself in the mic. He's going, I don't know what to go.
I don't know. I would say this to Cowboys fans, though.
You are embarrassed. You gave up 21 points how many did they give up?
28.
In the first half?
Oh, in the first half, 21. Yeah, 21.
That vaunted Dallas Cowboys defense, that's the greatest defense since sliced bread. Yeah, I know they lost Diggs, man. It hurts. But, man, you got to step up. Don't give me that BS. They were terrible.
Yeah, I would also say the Cardinals are better than everybody gave them credit for as well. That defense is solid, man. That defense is solid. I like that defense a lot. And Bryant texted me. I said this during Dave's show too. I'm going to rehash it.
Field goal kicking fools. Come on, Cowboys. You only muster up 1 touchdown.
But I'll say this too. Like, Cowboys
Second
fans
half,
that are
scored 6 points. You're supposed to be great. Dallas Cowboys fans hate.
But they're 2-1, and they played 2 great weeks of football and lost on the road in the National Football League.
They beat the Sisters of the Poor.
No, but that's not true. Maybe the Cardinals are better than we thought as well. So, like, they lost a road football game in the National Football League, and, like, the house is burning down. No, man, it's 1 game. Like, everybody thought that it's like, what do you think when you watch the NFL? That, like, you know the teams that are good and the teams that are bad, and the teams that are good always beat the teams that are bad? So I don't understand why everyone's freaking out. And it's not just, like, manufactured freak out like it usually is about the Cowboys on TV. The Cowboy fans are legitimately freaking out.
They're
2-1.
Point favorite. Everybody, all those people that had all that oil money, they just lost it all, okay?
12.5 point favorites on the road in the National Football League. Like, that's a terrible line. I'm sorry, Vegas. It's an awful line.
Tell that to Kansas City fans who just are cleaning in their pockets
but that's
now.
A home
they
game.
Got Taylor Swift coming out dancing and stuff. Travis Kelce's doing a little popping lock.
But, John, that's a home game when they just came off their first loss in, like, forever at what's the name of the stadium? Somebody help me.
What?
The Chiefs Stadium.
Arrowhead?
Hey, thank you. It's their first loss like ever at Arrowhead Stadium. They just came off of that, and they were big favorites, and it makes sense. The Cowboys being double-digit favorites on the road in the National Football League is a terrible line.
I hear
you. You didn't take the Cowboys, did you?
No, I didn't.
Good. Anybody that bet on the Cowboys yesterday should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Like, what are you, an idiot?
No.
That's a road game in the National Football League.
No, hold on. I think that's a half-truth because remember, I guess you weren't listening to me. I did not take the Cowboys before the day. I thought that was an insane
Right, you
line.
hedged it.
But no, in this third quarter, when it goes down to where the Cowboys are getting like plus 110, and I'm thinking to myself, they're going to come back and win this football game in the second half. I mean, the Cowboys are going to beat the Cardinals. We saw what the Giants did in the second half to this Cardinals football team. You know what I mean? The Cowboys, this great team. So I did an in-play bet, and I lost my tail. So, yeah, I got a lot of hate for the Cowboys today, brother.
I've got a bad beat on that as well. When it was 20, right after the Broncos scored, John, and the Dolphins had only had like one incompletion, and it was 21 points scored in the game. The total in that game went up like 17 points.
And you went under.
And I took the under.
Oh, man.
I took the under, and the Dolphins scored 70 points on it.
That's a hard one. But no.
So I got a bad beat myself.
There's a lot of things that we want to talk about. I got to get there's so many things, but again, another thing, Jaguars fans right now have to be hating on Doug Peterson and what the hell's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lost 2 games at home. They're 1-2 on the season. If you're the Ravens right now, I know you're just ticked off, but you shouldn't have been in that position anyway. Baltimore's offense
they had like
doesn't
9
look
players
very
out
good.
too, didn't they?
They did, but listen, Ravens' offense looked very, very ugly. I mean, and I don't know. I just was not very impressed. The Titans fans, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Ryan Tannehill, poor guy, was sacked 5 times.
Hey, that's anybody's division, John.
They got beat up on 27. They scored 3 They scored 3 damn points. You know they have 2 games. 2 games. They played the Saints. They didn't score a single touchdown. They play the damn Cleveland Browns. They didn't score a single touchdown. Yet somehow they beat the Chargers last week. What the hell? Oh, yeah, that's right, because Brandon Staley is an idiot and tries to lose all football games because he's the worst coach in the National Football League.
And the Titans are also 3.5
and
point dogs
somehow
at
Brandon
home.
Staley did not blow it for his team because Kirk Cousins threw that bouncing ball interception to seal that game. But by the way, did you see how stupid Minnesota was about? They just blew 30 seconds on the clock. Spike the football. What are you doing, Kirk Cousins?
Got it. Well, yeah, or was it a coaching indecision? I don't know.
Dude,
if
I'm just saying
that
you're a professional quarterback. You've been a coach
know
that many games.
You know the play.
You know better.
Yeah.
The coach just shouldn't have to tell you. Yes, I guess they should be yelling in your ear and say, spike the damn football. But how do you not know to do that?
Well, and also Kevin O'Connell, a former NFL quarterback. So the head coach is a quarterback, the quarterback's a quarterback, and you still take 30 seconds for spiking the football.
That was like the team. Both those teams were 0-2 at the point, and it seemed like at the end of the game, neither team wanted to win till the very last play.
Can I punctuate our segment with a fun Kevin O'Connell tidbit?
Please. I love tidbits.
Mark Sanchez hates Kevin O'Connell.
No way.
Mark Sanchez hated all of his quarterback teammates while he played in the National Football League.
I did not know that.
Yep. How about that?
Fascinating.
I think so, too. It tells you a lot about Mark Sanchez, doesn't it?
We got 2 football games tonight we're going to pick in the very last segment of the day. But on the other side, it's time to talk about what? It's time to talk about some hardwood, some crazy stories out there in the world of sports. But don't forget, man, this is all brought to you by the great people of Tito's. If life hands you lemons, you just make a lemon drop. Always make sure it's with the best. Tito's handmade vodka. It's crafted and distilled in the United States, down in Austin, Texas. Tito Beverage is a big dog lover. He also loves the fact that he wants you to live better. It's gluten-free, baby. It's 100% corn. It's also 6 times distilled because he wants it to be the best. Then distilled in classic copper pots because he wants it to have the best flavor, slightly sweet black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking a neat. Get your Tito's on today. Hardwood on the other side. Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Check. You might already know about the Acura MDX. V6 engine, seat 7. We have an announcement. We swapped that engine with a specially made 3-liter turbo V6, race-tuned the steering and suspension, and for the first time, added Type S performance to an SUV. So we're just gonna drop this right here. The Acura MDX and first ever MDX Type S. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Visit Acura of Memphis for summer of performance deals. AcuraofMemphis.com.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Memphis attorneys. 5100 Poplar Avenue, Suite 2932, Memphis, Tennessee, 38137.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Memphis football is home Saturday, September 30th as they face off against traditional power Boise State at 3. We celebrate D'Angelo Williams and the entire 2003 Memphis Tigers. It's also Kids Day. We have balloon artists, inflatables, special poster-making stations, and more for kids of all ages. Tickets start at just $20 to witness Dino One's team in action. Be there Saturday, September 30th at 3 o'clock. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's with us. And I'm telling you right now, we've got some interesting hardwood. You got Travis Kelce, who obviously is just... Like, if I was going to say, like, one of the biggest pimps of the National Football League, I never thought it was going to be Travis Kelce. I saw, like, a couple episodes because I went home to watch them. Put them up on, like, something, I don't know, like the Hulu or something. I don't know. One of those damn things. Watched a little catching Kelce. Didn't seem like during that show he was a really big catch. But, man, you had Taylor Swift who was there. All kinds of crazy stuff. But we're going to get into a little bit of hardwood, but I have to tell you how we get there. We get there because of great people like Bill at I Buy Houses. 901-406-1101. Any house, any area, as is. It's as simple as that. Give Bill a call. All you have to do is bing, bang, boom. We talk out a price. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. Like that, like I said, man, you can't get closed any faster. If you're having an issue with renters, if you just want to get rid of the joint, if you were going to get foreclosed, whatever reason, you need to get rid of that house, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Travis Kelce yesterday was the talk of the National Football League. Not really. Well, I mean, it really was kind of a big story. Everybody was talking about it. Like, I mean, you have the, Dolphins carving up Denver. There was all kinds of crazy things going on in the NFL yesterday.
And Travis Kelce's back at it again.
What do you mean?
Joe Biden is headed to Kansas City. Travis Kelce must be stopped, man.
No way. No way. She's going to go get some Kelce?
It's just a joke.
Oh. Man,
I mean, she is going to Kansas City, and, you put one and two things together,
I mean, every lady is stopping in Kansas City to get a little Kelce because last night.
Now the first lady is, too.
Dude, it's just amazing. I mean, I have to say, I don't blame her. Like, her man's old, you know what I'm saying? They never mind. Just, I'm not even going there. But you pretty much figured it out. Now, Kansas City. They're playing a little football game against this team that's terrible in the Bears. Justin Fields can't do anything. The Bears are just absolutely terrible. They promise to be better. I don't care what you promise. You have lost 13 straight football games. Terrible. Kansas City's playing games. Taylor Swift is in a box with Travis Kelce's mom, and Pat Mahomes is making sure that he throws touchdown pass to make his boy look good. He even said so in the post-game comments. Did you see at the end of the game? Like, they come up to talk to him like, yeah, you just won a football game. You smoked the Chicago Bears. But did you feel any extra pressure with Taylor Swift being in the stands? Oh, I knew she was here, talking like Kermit the Frog, talking about how he hadn't met her yet. But, felt pressure to make his boy look good. And he did make his boy look good. He went out there and got a touchdown pass. Taylor Swift chest bumped somebody, you know what I'm saying? She was all in it. Now we got Swifties watching Travis Kelce. I don't know. This thing is going to end like crazy. But here's the other thing is, not only was she there with his mom in a box, partying like a rock star, celebrating Kansas City, Kelce balls out. She left the stadium in his convertible with him, and he rents out an entire restaurant. Nobody goes in the restaurant but Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was pressure. I heard she was in the house tonight. I felt a little bit of pressure. I knew I just had to get a trap. I had to get a trap no matter what. And, I mean, he does his own thing. He makes up a route, and I just throw it to him. I think he wanted to get in the end zone as much as he could. The Swifties, man, they were going crazy that night. I think the Swifties wanted him to get it, too.
That was exactly what he said verbatim. Did you definitely watch the presser?
Well, then I just looked up the clip so I could do it.
Oh, you did great, Kermit the Frog. That was one of the best Patrick Mahomes impressions I've ever heard.
I don't know if that sounds like Kermit the Frog, though. I can do a little hi-ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do a great Kermit the Frog.
Now that you do the difference,
hi-ho.
It's not too good.
No, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes sounds like a chain smoker.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't think he is.
He's nasally, though.
Yeah, he is a little nasally.
But, man, he tears it up on football. And, again, the Chiefs 41-10, and Travis Kelce is actually with Taylor Swift. And did you know that on Saturday I get up, I go to a specific bar, I walk into the restroom, and they have, like, the paper, the front page of a paper on the wall. So when you're using the restroom, you can read the front page, okay? I love it because I don't see a paper anywhere else. It's just a good feeling. And
just while you're peeing.
So on Saturday, they're talking about all this college football, but one of the things said, sorry, but Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift is not real, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what, buddy? Looks like you got the wrong source, because Tay-Tay left with Travis Kelce, and I'm curious. Is this going to end good or bad for Travis Kelce? Is this going to be a positive thing or a negative thing for the Kansas City Chiefs? If Travis Kelce gets his heart broken by Taylor Swift and becomes a song, can he handle it?
That's really what you have to think about every time you date Taylor Swift is, can you handle being a song? And then people are going to try and figure out which song you are, that kind of thing. That's just, it's crazy. Because that's all I've been thinking about. And I'm not even a Swiftie, but that's the thing I think about when I hear someone date Taylor Swift. Is, oh, God, you better be ready to be a song, brother.
Are Swifties now Kansas City fans?
Oh, yeah, no, there were so many Taylor Swift signs in the crowd. Is Taylor here? That kind of thing. And like so many I saw that literally just said, is Taylor here? That's exactly right.
Bro, he got Taylor Swift to come to his game.
No, that's cool.
And in that game, he scored a touchdown.
Even Bill Belichick talked about it today.
What? I didn't hear that.
In his Monday press conference, Bill Belichick brought up Taylor Swift.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, the man that doesn't want to answer any questions, talk about anything. Yes, correct.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
did you know that Bill Belichick weirdly actually was spotted? I remember doing this story. He went and saw her when they played in New York.
I misspoke, John. It was not at the press conference. It was an interview this morning on the Greg Hill Show, probably a stupid Boston radio show, crap shows. Anyway, they said they asked him about if he had heard about the new it couple. He goes, well, I would say that Travis Kelce's had a lot of big catches in his career. This would by far be the biggest. I mean, how about that? Opinions from Coach Belichick about Taylor Swift.
This is the greatest thing ever.
He goes, that was pretty impressive. I mean, she's tough, man. She just stood there. She played right through it.
I'm so proud of Bill Belichick for doing that. I don't know, man. This is just for me. Like, this is a great story.
He took his family. I guess he's got grandkids that are Swifties. They all went to her concert when it was at Gillette Stadium. So
told you that he's been to it.
So Coach Belichick, he loves him some Swift.
Because do you not remember in the story? You know what he said?
What?
Man, she's a tough girl.
That's what. Okay, so that was what that quote about it. She's tough because she performed in the rain. That's right.
She performed in the rain and didn't miss a beat.
That is right.
She didn't stop. She just kept going and singing her little heart out.
He's a fan, man.
Dude, do that for the grandkids, bro. You're gonna have a fan, man.
I've got another story for you today, John.
Oh, great.
It's not so much a story as it is like public information that I feel like needs to be disseminated. So this weekend,
a PSA.
A PSA. There you go. So have you ever heard of the Talking Heads, John?
Yes.
Band. Yeah, good band. Really good band. They have a documentary called Stop Making Sense. It came out in 1984. It is touring around the country, and it is at Malco Paradiso every night this week and next at 9:30 at night. It's a concert movie. It's unbelievable. It's directed by the same guy that directed The Silence of the Lambs, won an Academy Award for The Silence of the Lambs. I went on Saturday night to see this concert. I didn't have super high expectations. I was just like, I'm just going to go see this concert. I bet it's a concert movie. It's an old one. People rave about it. I think it'll be pretty neat. I went to go see it, John. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And it's a concert movie. I cannot recommend this enough. I meant to talk about this during Dave's show too, but I forgot, so I'll do it here as well. You have to go see this. If you're a fan of the Talking Heads or you're just looking for something to do, every night at 9:30 at the Paradiso, John, you truly would love it. You would love it. There was people.
Where's the Paradiso?
It's the one on Poplar, right close to where you live.
From my crib.
Yeah, every night at 9:30, and they got booze in there. They have a bar in there, so there's people in there. I mean, because you're going to a
Tito's then.
They do, but you're going to
this is my kind of place.
You're going to a concert. You know what I mean? People drink at concerts, so there's people drinking beer and drinking Tito's, and they're dancing in the aisles and they're dancing on the back rows. You're gonna love it. You're either gonna love the movie. I loved the movie and the music. Some people were just there for the music. I can't recommend this enough. If you like the Talking Heads, or you just like 80s rock or whatever, or a little late 70s rock, you'll love this experience. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I can't recommend it enough. It's called Stop Making Sense. The Talking Heads. It's at the Paradiso every night this week at 9:30. You got to go check it out.
You're a big movie guy.
I love movies, yeah.
You a Will Smith movie guy? Like, are his movies good?
No, I don't care for Will Smith, quite frankly.
Whoa. Is it because he slapped Chris Rock?
Yeah, that was kind of the icing on the cake. I'd been growing tired of him for a while, and right then I knew this guy's on something. He's just the most disingenuous person in Hollywood, I feel like.
What did you think about his Ali performance?
You know, it's not my favorite movie in the world. You know, some people...
All right, what about when he was like iRobot?
I don't like
I can't believe I know this.
I like
things.
I like
what
the
about
book
when he was
iRobot.
What movie was he
Men in Black.
getting jiggy with it?
That's just DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That's just his song.
Oh, that's just a song. No, the one Miami Vice. He had.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, I like Martin Lawrence. No, Bad Boys too. With
it was Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Yeah, I like Bad Boys. Bad
so
Boys
he
is
didn't
funny.
do Miami Vice.
No, I think he is in Miami Vice. Not the old Miami Vice, but I think there was a remake with him in it. Isn't that right?
Well, just so you know, you don't like him in anything he's done.
No, it was just Jamie Foxx in Miami Vice. Will Smith wasn't in that. I like Miami Vice though. Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. Wait, why is he done?
No, I didn't say he's done. I mean, he is kind of done in Hollywood.
I hope so. I mean, I'm so sick of this
I haven't
guy.
seen him do anything new, have you?
Hopefully he's getting off the steroids that make him freak out for absolutely no apparent reason. I mean, the guy's the worst. I just don't like Will Smith.
Well, happy birthday. You're 55 today, Will. Man,
I don't like Will Smith.
I can tell.
I used to like him, like in Men in Black when he's doing funny stuff. That I liked that at first, and like I said, I like him with Bad Boys. I really like Martin Lawrence a lot. Martin, one of my favorite shows. I love Martin Lawrence. But Will Smith is just not a good person, man. He's just so disingenuous, and that's in Hollywood with a ton of disingenuous people. He's like top of the list, man. I'm just not a fan.
Do you think that he is a do people kind of frown on him in the swinger community because his marriage end and divorce because they don't like that? They don't like that black eye.
How do you sit there with your black eye? Is what John said. I mean, how do you sit there while your wife says that? How do you just sit there? If that's a private thing, you know what I mean? That's a total private thing. I'm not shaming him for that having happened to him. But how do you sit there while your wife tells tens of millions of people?
Yeah, let me
what a horrible idea. What do you do? That's a private matter, man. Deal with that in your household. Do not say that to 10 million people. And that's why I think he's super disingenuous. He's like, oh yeah, this will ingratiate me to people. No, man, it was just a terrible idea. Nobody thinks better of either of you because of that experience.
And then also again, then after that comes out, and
Bingo.
then slapping Chris Rock okay, so you have a problem with an alopecia joke, but you don't have a problem with dude coming over to your house.
That's what it was. He was taking steroids, so he's already got a quick fuse there.
And getting jiggy with it with your wife.
Yeah, he was.
That is a song that he did.
It is. Yeah. Na.
Man, I love it when it just comes together.
No, but you're right, John. And so it was a total overcorrection. First of all, he's taking steroids, so his mind is not sharp. He's not where he should be. And then he's an overcorrection because he didn't expect to get so much backlash for looking like a clown when his wife's telling tens of millions of people that she had an affair. I mean, and they both agreed to it. And so then he goes slaps Chris Rock for no reason. I'm just not a fan of the guy, man.
So there's two
But Chris Rock's comedy special where he gets to talk about it, awesome, love it. I'm glad that happened for that reason.
It is fascinating, yes, because that was a great comedy.
It was
special.
hilarious.
I have to agree with that. Now, the one other thing I was going to say though, the fascinating thing that kind of comes through this is look at the difference in the way some people can handle steroids, okay?
The Rock.
Look. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I was going to say, look at the Governor. Arnold Schwarzenegger became the biggest Hollywood star in the world, was Mr. Olympian or whatever, and became the governor of California. You know what I'm saying?
The Governor.
And he was juicing the whole time.
He was.
And then you look at Lyle Alzado, who lost his damn mind and went crazy when he was juicing way back in the day.
But
Arnold, and then, like you said, Will Smith, he's juicing. He lost his mind. He's letting his wife hang out and play na with his buddy.
You know what I bet the difference is? True, I've never thought about this before, but Arnold was.
And then The Rock is another perfect example.
Yeah, here you go. Two guys that could handle it. The Rock and Arnold. That's a great example, John. Two bodybuilders professionally building their bodies
Brian
up.
Bosworth got to the NFL, but he couldn't handle it. My man's hair was crazy.
He was doing too much.
He was freaking out,
man. They're probably The Rock and Arnold probably were doing it as healthy as you could. It's not a healthy thing to do, but as healthy as you could. Plus, they were already working their bodies to that degree, lifting weights and bodybuilding to that point in their life. Will Smith, not professionally, he's a tall guy, but not professionally a strong person.
Rock, it was probably more maintenance when he got older.
Very much
he was
so.
playing football at Georgia and in the NFL. Dude was a monster.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And the biggest WWE star.
And then, once you get, probably old as he is, he's probably I need a little something to keep me like I was 20 years old.
That's his livelihood is the way he looks.
So,
but whereas Will Smith, it's not. He was just this skinny, tall guy that had a little bit of muscle on him, but not and so he's taking steroids for no reason. It's not connected to your livelihood, dude.
I think it probably had to do with when he had to bulk up to play Ali. These are also
It could be.
This is called, the segment is Reckless Speculation.
Yeah, people know that when they listen to Hardwood. There's
Reckless
Speculation.
This is Reckless Speculation with John and Jay Morgan on a beautiful Monday. Also, did want to say one other thing. Damn, I forgot it.
John, what are you going to drink this weekend?
Tito's.
Oh, I love Tito's. Where can I get Tito's?
Man,
anywhere, right?
Liquor store, man. It's cheap as it can be, man, because it's made and crafted in still the United States. You don't have to bring it in from Russia. You don't have to bring it in from France. You don't have to bring it from anywhere except for Austin, Texas, baby, where it's 6 times distilled and then distilled in classic copper pots. It's absolutely delicious. Tito's. Get you a little something today. On the other side, we got to pick our plays for tonight. We got 2 Monday night football games. That's next on Sport 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
Give me liberty and give me real estate.
I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and that was Hugh Mallory. Not only does he work with me at Mark Spensdorf Realtors, he's the president of this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl. So Hugh, instead of sounding like Patrick Henry, what do you mean?
Well, Sheldon, like you, I sell real estate. I'm also privileged to serve as president of the 65th AutoZone Liberty Bowl, which will be held Friday, December 29th at 2:30. I'm able to handle all my clients, whether they're buying or selling, while participating in this great annual tradition.
Hugh, that is definitely quite an honor, and with your fabulous track record in real estate sales, I know you'll do a great job. Hugh will move you as something to remember, and you can reach Hugh Mallory at 497-9756. It's also why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. You can reach me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546. See you at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl on December 29th.
Howdy, partner. Grab the family, hop in the old wagon, and get on up here to Sunrise at Wolf Chase for this Western Trading Day sale. Biggest sale of the year. Got a hankering for a new buggy? Well, hold your horses and listen up. Interest rates as low as 0.9%. Discounts up to $8,000. Bankruptcy, slow pay, repo. It's okay at Sunrise. $12 million used car inventory and new Buicks and GMCs arriving daily. Goodness gracious, now is the time to treat yourself. And check out the Sunrise Truck Corral. All trucks, all sizes. Call, click, or come on down to Sunrise Wolf Chase and Bartlett. Ask for Woody. SunriseMemphis.com. Y'all, we make it fun to buy a car.
Never deal with a freezing cold shower again, even if you're third or fourth in line. With Navien tankless water heaters, you'll have endless hot water, plus you'll save money on utility bills, get a 15-year limited warranty, and save space with their wall-hung design. Right now, save hundreds on a new Navien tankless water heater with local utility company rebates and federal tax credits. Find the name of your local contractor at Navien at tanklessmadesimple.com, tanklessmadesimple.com.
Hey everybody, fall is happening here in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy. Not only can you get the new 2023 Silverado this week, you can get financing as low as 0 interest for 3 months with no payments. And your good credit deserves this. So come drive a Silverado or one of these new Traverses. See Kevin or Jeff if you want to do a custom order. And if you're a first responder, educator, military, recent college grad, healthcare professional, September is your month for bonus cash and more here at All-Star Chevy. Just see Kevin or Jeff, and they asked me to thank all of you who are bringing your cars and your trucks here to sell. All-Star is still paying crazy good money, and you can get a check today, even if you still owe money on it. And All-Star's certified and pre-owned selection is loaded. I see lots of Silverados, Ram trucks, here's a Denali, even a Mercedes. They're all spot on. And if you need service or maintenance, call Sean or Jeff in the All-Star Service Department. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Bartlett, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Jay Morgan. It is a beautiful Monday in the world of sports. Tonight we got a little football. You got the Rams and the Bengals. You can catch that action right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM. Yes, 7 o'clock. You can catch all that stuff. Now, we got 2 games. 2 very, very big games. The problem is, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm struggling. Amen, I got my man Jay Morgan, because I don't know. Like, I look at this Eagles and this Bucks team. Both of them are 2-0. The Eagles have played nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they beat a terrible, terrible Vikings team that's 0-3 on the season. They beat the Patriots, who got their first win this weekend against the Jets. They haven't played anybody. And then the Buccaneers, they also played the Vikings, barely beat them. And then they played the worst team in football in the Chicago Bears. So you don't know who's what. They're in Tampa Bay. The line's 5. I don't know what to pick. And in the other game, I'm worried about Joey B. I love Cincinnati with Joey Burrow. Their backup, Jake Browning's not in the game because he's injured as well. Joey B's a little banged up. So they got A.J. McCarron. This man has overcome having a chest tattoo that's the ugliest tattoo in the world to marry a beautiful woman. He's already winning at life somehow. He must have a great personality or something else. I don't know. But as a quarterback, I don't know. A.J. McCarron can get it done if Joey B goes out. So the Bengals tonight scares me, Jay.
It scares me as well. I want to start. Well, let's start with this one. You just brought it up. I think the Rams. What makes me feel more comfortable in it, John, is the Rams are a super trendy play. People had no faith in the Rams until they had a good week last week, beating the Seahawks. Right? Who? The Rams beat the Seahawks last week.
Week one, son.
Week one.
Then they covered. Then the
covered against the
They
Niners.
covered against the 49ers by kicking the field goal with no time left on the clock to lose by 7.
Exactly.
And they won by the hook.
So I'm scared of the Rams being a trendy play as an underdog on the road. I know the Bengals haven't looked good, and I've been very worried that Joe Burrow is not healthy, but I think I'm willing to take a shot on this one tonight. A trendy Rams team against a home
if
favorite.
You're the Bengals, man. You cannot turn into the Vikings, who are 0-3.
Primetime Monday night. I'm comfortable laying the Bengals in that regard, and then that's because. And one more thing too.
Talk about desperate right now. Who would have thought in Week 3 that when the Bengals are playing the Rams, it's a must-win, and plus that the Cincinnati would be only a 3-point favorite over a young Rams team.
For sure. And then one more thing, the play I have. I like the Bucs in this game in the first one, John, and I'll tell you why. The Philadelphia Eagles are 5-point road favorites against an undefeated Bucs team. I know the Bucs aren't good. That might be a fake 2-0, but you're telling me if home was worth 3 points, if the Eagles were playing at home, they would be 8-point favorites. I would absolutely take the Bucs on the road +8. For that reason, I'm going to take the Bucs +5 at home today.
I dig it. Also, man, I dig Tipsy Tabs. You need to check these bad boy out. Go to gettipsy.co. Order some Tipsy Tabs today, man. Use the discount code Johnny Radio. Get 15% off plus free shipping. If you buy 2 packs, get 30% off the total price. And, of course, free shipping. Again, use my discount code Johnny Radio. Bite me, chew me, suck me, however you like me. Just put that Tipsy Tab in your mouth. Grab a Tipsy Tab today. Now, it is time to go. We got 2 NFL games. We didn't say anything about the Bucs and the Eagles because, man, I don't know what to do. I will say, though, if you do in-game playing, when you win, you feel the best. When you lose, you feel stupid. Get out there. Make this world a better place. Good luck. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
It's time to go where the season takes you, and it's the season for savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go for miles more with 43 MPG Highway in your 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. $17,815 or $229 a month. 2024 Eclipse Cross eludes sleek and sporty style at $29,695 or $399 a month. Discover the new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV with 3rd row and 7-passenger seating. Now $29,885 or $449 a month. And they're all equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. We're ready to put you in a new ride today at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months. Mirage RH 00782 MSRP 18315. Eclipse RZ 001693 MSRP 30445. Outlander RZ 005762 MSRP 31385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Everyone agrees that 117 Prime is Memphis's premier downtown dining experience. But what if you could go one step further and have 117 Prime at home? As hard as it is to believe, 117 Prime, which features some of the best food in Memphis, is available for curbside or takeout.